Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Let's Go Racing Motorsports Report. I am Mike Babicz, your host, and boy, do we got a big day. Off the track, what's going on in Rome. Congratulations to Pope Leo, first Pope from the United States and from Chicago. Now, there's a debate right now whether he's a Cubs fan or a Sox fan. His brother says Sox because he is from the South Side. So it's just going to be, really interesting to see how things move along. And I'm sure we're going to see Pope Leo the 14th in Chicago. I'm predicting before Christmas. So I'll be looking forward to that. And congratulations to him. And thanks to all the Cardinals. And again, that's, whether you're whether you're Catholic or not, like a gentleman on WGN said today, he's not even Catholic, and he was getting goosebumps watching all the coverage and listening to the Pope speak. So it's pretty cool, especially Kathy and I having been in Rome just a few weeks ago. So that's pretty cool. Do want to thank all of our marketing partners that bring us to the air each and every week. Our good friend Steve Sinclair and the Bumper to Bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint Cars. Game Day Men's Health of Vernon Hills, soon to be Kenosha as well. Great Lakes Dragaway, they are open tonight and checking out some of their new surface. They resurfaced, did a lot of resurfacing on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but they are open tonight and planning on being open this weekend as well. And we'll get a report from John a little bit on that. B&L Office Furniture, my good friend Scott Carpenter provides us our in-home studio, and Scott's going to make his street stock debut this Saturday night at Wilmot Raceway. We'll be talking to Scott in just a little bit about that. Force One Performance, BJ Irwin, Whitmore's Towing and Recovery, Fox Lake Harbor, Hunt Club of Richmond. We're going to make a road trip out there sometime this summer. MLS Auto Clinic. Always want to thank Eddie and Debbie Boyd and their involvement, also their involvement and support of Lake County Honor Flight and Stars and Stripes Honor Flight. Body Craft and the new IRA Pace vehicle will be heading out to Sycamore this Saturday to join the Bumper to Bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint Cars, the 1175 Sports Bar, and the Lightning Sprints, as well as the Badger Midgets are going to be at Sycamore this Saturday night. Also, Goodwin Performance, People Architectural Group, which helps everyone with their HR services. Lake County Hose and Equipment, Bill Fusting and his fine crew. Bill races from time to time, and some of his family members do too at Great Lakes Dragaway. Hartnell Chevrolet, don't forget, 3 big car shows coming up at Hartnell Chevrolet, one in June, one in July, one in August, and we'll have more information on those as we get closer. Culvers of Paddock Lake. We're also going to make a road trip to Culvers of Paddock Lake and do a Thursday night remote and a motorsports and custom car show, and we'll have more details on that in the future. Impressions Count. We Be Waxin' Jack's Helmets. A-Main Apparel and Diecast. Garrett Tennyson and his family. Cabins on the Lake in Friendship, Wisconsin. Kaylee Burns that does Grandpa's hair. Midwest Motor Coach and Olson Transportation. Also Nielsen Enterprises. John Hatterline, attorney at law. 5-Star Race Car Bodies. Carl and Corey Schultz. And Daniel Sanchez. Northern Illinois Council on Alcoholism and Substance Abuse. NASCAR Day of Giving is next week. I believe it's May 13th and 14th. You can go to the NASCAR website and Facebook page And if you make a donation, enough donations that are made, NASCAR will be combining that. Again, they will be combining that and matching it. And last year, NICASA is the only not-for-profit between Chicago and Milwaukee that is part of that huge NASCAR program. So please help support a local not-for-profit, Northern Illinois Council on Alcoholism and Substance Abuse, based in Fish Lake, right near Volvo. And again, more information on that is on the NASCAR website, so check that out. Also want to thank Jim Trado and his crew at Racing Roundup that helped out as well. And we also want to thank, of course, Greentown on the Rocks, as well as our good friends from Waukegan Harbor and Marina. Also want to thank Bill's Little Big Band and Most Wanted. They were performing this last weekend. And also want to thank the gentleman that brought out the food truck, the chicken and walking tacos food truck. Yeah, really good stuff. So, again, that was this last week. Also, Midwest Motor that provides the transportation for the veterans up to Milwaukee and back for the Lake County Honor Flight. And want to recognize the folks that picked up awards. Tyler Cuxhouse won the Lois Hafford Award in recognition of his dedication to motorsports and being an up-and-coming racer. Lois Hafford passed away a few years ago, and the Hafford family has started that award up. We had one last year that Colin Sivia won. This year, the award went to Tyler Cuxhouse for his wingless sprint car, second-generation driver out of Antioch. Colin Sivia won the Young Racer Award that was presented by Goodwin Performance. And also the Steve Sinclair Award for, again, an up-and-coming racer that has done a lot for racing. He's only 15 years old. Jacob Irwin out of Genoa City, who had his Lightning Sprint on hand, received the first Steve Sinclair Award. And I should mention, Colin Sivia is now racing Lightning Sprints too, fourth generation driver of that family. And Colin is 13 years old and in 7th grade. And we're going to have him on in a few weeks. And we're also going to try to get Tyler on. But our overall winner, a guy that used to race and now just has a beautiful looking AMC. And that was Jimmy Utek Jr. out of Pleasant Prairie. He scored the win, picked up the Larry Roebuck Best Appearing Overall Award, and congratulations to Jimmy. What did he do the day after he came down? And he also made the day of a young person that was visiting and watching and looking at all the different cars. He gave him a ride in his award-winning car and took him all over the lakefront. But Jimmy, the next day, left for a cruise, he and his wife. So hopefully they're enjoying the cruise, and he'll see this when he gets back. He could probably get us on the cruise. I don't know. Want to thank everybody that came out. It was a little chilly, but we can tell you now the 2026 46th Let's Go Racing Motorsports, Spars Let's Go Racing Motorsports and Custom Car Show, presented by our good friend Larry Roebuck, is going to return to the Waukegan Harbor and Marina. But just like I guaranteed it'd be warmer this year, it was. Last year it was 32 degrees when we started. This year it was 56, but it was quite a wind chill. We're moving it to June next year, Father's Day. It's going to be on Father's Day in June. If somebody knows the date, they can text me with it. But it's going to be Father's Day in June next year. So Bob from Greentown on the Rocks and also Robbie from Waukegan Harbor and Marina, we're all excited to make that announcement. You just heard it here first. Spread the word. It's definitely going to be warmer. I mean, if we keep adding, 24 degrees, let's see, 56, 76, that'd be 80 degrees. That'd be gorgeous. So it's going to be a great place to bring Dad out to. So now we are going to bring in John from Great Lakes Dragway to give us our Great Lakes Dragaway update, and I know they've been very, very busy there, and John just kind of disappeared on me. So hopefully he comes back very, very soon. Again, like I mentioned, also, we definitely want to thank Bumper to Bumper. How could I forget Bumper to Bumper? Bumper to Bumper came through with more than flying colors. They gave us lots and lots of items to give away. Everybody left the car show on Sunday with something, and with many more things, actually. So we thank Bumper to Bumper for their help, and we are going to hopefully be continuing to work with them in the future. And we've got our good friend Dick Colburn from the Dick Colburn Classic up there behind us. Not sure what happened. So if John reappears, we'll bring John forward, but we're going to go to Scott Carpenter. I think Scott is still with us in the, oh, there's Scott.
Hey, Scott, here I am.
You go. Well, John disappears and your camera falls, and it's a little bit of everything. Scott, I understand you're still at the shop there at B&L Office Furniture, and we want to thank you for your support and help at the car show and for bringing your car, and also your support and help. This is 2 years now. I think you've been involved with us here with the Let's Go Racing Motorsports report. But you're shifting gears, no pun intended, and you've driven a Bandit, and now you've kind of abandoned the Bandit, and you're moving into a street stock. So tell us a little bit about it and what's gonna happen this Saturday at Wilmot Raceway with your debut.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen. I know I'm going to get on the track. At least I think I'm planning on getting on the track. So everything, we're ready. The car's ready. I'm ready to get out there. It's going to be interesting, going from racing in a front wheel drive car, 4 cylinders, to racing with a rear wheel drive car with 8 cylinders, a lot more horsepower. I'm anxious to see what it's going to be like. We went out for practice, and it was kind of fun, but we had an issue with the distributor. Came back the next day, thought we had the problem fixed, and you really don't know until you get it on track, and then the problem was still there. So we just ended up swapping out the whole distributor, put a brand new one in, and hopefully things will work out good. But I'm really looking forward to it. It should be a good time. Yeah.
Well, and where did you get this car? Every race car has a history. So what's the history on? It's going to be 47 now. It's a really nice looking car, nice and bright and white. So there's no reason for anybody to hit you, because they can't miss you.
No, they can't miss me at all.
And you'll be able to help Paul, the new announcer for Wilmot. You'll be able to help him out too, because you're going to be easy for him to pick up out there on the track.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So I had bought the car from Jason Jones, who him and his brother have been racing out at Wilmot, and they decided to do something different. I'm not sure what their intentions are, but they ended up both selling their vehicles, and I bought Jason's. And the car comes with a history, and I'm kind of learning a little bit more about it as I go, because I was talking to another fellow street stock racer, and he knows a little bit more about the car too, on where it came from, who built it, and whatnot. So the car's been around for a while, and it's been at the Wilmot track. So I felt very comfortable with it, picking it up from somebody who has raced it there. It was set up by Rob Maw. Give him a plug there. He scaled it, and I haven't had him look at it yet, but I've got some notes, and we went back just to make sure that everything was the way it was set up, and everything seems to be okay. So yeah, we're good to go.
And folks that you want to thank that got you to this point, from your Bandit to now the street stocks. And I know your wife, Michelle, you've definitely got to thank her.
Oh, yeah, I do have to thank her. She's the one who she actually helped me out and in buying the car. Had to borrow the money from my wife.
That usually happens.
Yeah. And so she's the car owner, and we'll give her credit for that. B&L Office Furniture for being a sponsor that helps with transportation and some other minor things. And then Tim over at Great American Tire in Kenosha, location also in Lindenhurst, but you'll find him in Kenosha. Him helping me out with some mechanical help when I need it. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. We got room for more. More people want to jump on.
There you go. Now, Great American Tire, I believe I saw a Facebook posting. They got a car show coming up. I know they had one last year, and we brought the pace truck, the Bodycraft pace truck down, and we will try to do that again this year. So go ahead and tell folks information on that show.
Yeah, I believe the date. I don't have it in front of me, Mike, but I believe the date is June 7th. It's a weekend that we don't race out at Wilmot. So if you're local and you stay there, or if you're traveling somewhere else, then you might not be available. But race cars are welcome. Custom cars. Last year he had a group of people that had custom pickup trucks show up. With bagged where they can lower and raise them, and
food trucks there, I know, and some really good food from the food trucks,
Yeah, food trucks. Being in Kenosha, you're going to find some AMC cars there that you don't typically see around. So
Jimmy Utek may bring his award-winning car back.
He might bring
his cruise.
Yeah, bring that one or his '57 Chevy. I don't know. He's got a few cars, some hot rods.
Sure. Yeah. So that's, and Tim does a lot, for motorsports. He's been involved a lot in drag racing up at Great Lakes Dragway too, correct?
Yeah, he's a drag racer himself. He's currently working on rebuilding his car, changing it into something else that I'm not sure exactly what all goes into that, but he'd be a good one to ask about that. But yeah, he's a frequent flyer out of Great Lakes Dragway and would like to get back out there, I'm sure.
Well, that's really great. I know the schedule kind of you guys are on, you're off. Do you know the next few weeks when you will be at Wilmot? And I know we've talked off air. You've thought about going a few other places. Have you solidified your schedule yet, or you're just waiting to see what happens Saturday?
Yeah, just kind of waiting to see what happens. I really feel comfortable cutting my teeth on this at my local home track. I'm not ready not sure if I want to head out and try some other places. We might, I don't have anything set in stone. The only thing I do have set in stone is that I have a daughter's wedding coming up this year. And we have a bridal shower taking place at our house in August. So priority is, I love racing. My wife's got my back, but I better make sure that I have everything taken care of for that wedding and that shower.
Well, and we did let it, the cat out of the bag, and I don't know if I may have to arm wrestle her for it, because she said she wants to drive it too. That you have offered that I could drive your Bandit some night at Wilmot, and when I mentioned that at the car show on Sunday, Kathy was standing next to me, and she goes, "Well, I want to drive it." You may have a driver for a couple of events at Wilmot. We'll have to wait and see, but I have not driven a Bandit.
No,
so this would be a first for me.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what, Mike? You don't be too upset with me, but I actually had a buyer come to me.
Oh,
I know.
The car right from under me.
I know. I can get you in a seat, though. I can get you in a seat. Steve Ellis, my cousin-in-law, he will bring his Bandit out, and you can run that one. And that actually is a pretty fast car too. I drove it here at practice when mine was acting up.
Okay. And, all right, I'll forgive you then, I guess.
Okay. I had to pay my wife back.
There you go. All right, it's Mother's Day this weekend. Yeah. You better make sure you do that. So
yeah.
All right. Well, we wish you well on Saturday. I'll be down at Sycamore, but I'm sure we'll be watching on my Race Pass and seeing what's happening at Wilmot, and I'll be looking forward to getting a report. I'm sure we'll touch base because we've been talking about a few other things too for my day job at the Architectural Group. We're taking a look at some office furniture from you. So, and we do encourage folks, hey, if you need something, contact Scott. I mean, he was able to get us tables and chairs on Sunday, and even had enough chairs for the entire band. So that worked out really good. And Scott, you're a good friend, and again, I appreciate your friendship and your support. And we will definitely, be looking. Hopefully, Paul is going to have interviewed you in Victory Lane on Saturday. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Oh man, that would be awesome. I don't want to. Yeah, that would be that'd be amazing for me, but that would probably really upset a lot of people. That means that a lot of things probably wouldn't have went right for a lot of other people, especially my first time out there.
There you go. Well, again, thank you very much, Scott. We wish you well in the number 47 on Saturday at Wilmot, and I'm sure we'll be talking again soon. And a blessed happy Mother's Day to Michelle.
Thanks, Mike. Yep, you have a great day. Thank you for having me.
Take care, Scott. God bless.
Yep. God bless you too.
All righty. We're going to shift gears, and we're going to bring John in, and John's going to join it. Oh, John got a twin.
Got a celebrity with me. Yeah.
I actually I didn't get the memo.
Yeah. It's kind of, we're heading out. It's been a very busy week with all the things that are going on at Great Lakes Ragway. So I got our president of the Bruce City Gassers with me, Mark Davis. That we started the club up, me and Mark, and we happened to be over hanging at another one of our buddies' shops to get something to eat tonight. And I thought we'd bring on somebody different.
All right, that's great. Well, I don't know who I should go to first. I just know that on the Facebook page and that it said you were not open Tuesday or Wednesday. You're always closed on Monday, or most Mondays, because you were doing a lot of work on the track in the track area. And it said, I saw the posting last night. Hey, it's all done. We're ready to go tomorrow. So tonight there's activity going on at Great Lakes Dragaway, and John, fill the folks in on what's been happening.
Okay, so what they did on Tuesday and Wednesday, the reason we were closed is because they were trying to do the initial transition, first 170 feet of the track, that's cement. They wanted to grind the surface and roughen it up a little bit differently so it'll hold the rubber a little bit better, because this weekend at our Nitrous Streetcar Brawl, we have the Wisconsin Outlaws Street Series that comes up where they put a ton of glue on the track. The track is prepped by Total Menu Concepts, come in and does a special prep on the track because we got some really high horsepower cars that are going to be going down the track with a 10.5-inch tire drag radial. And they wanted to make sure the rubber was going to stick really, really well for these high horsepower cars. Some of these cars are over 3,000 horsepower, and they're trying to get that down on the track. So they thought it'd be a good idea to come in and grind it first. So they were working on that Tuesday and Wednesday yesterday, and they got that all done. Today they were working, laying all the new rubber on. Total Menu Concepts is there. And now the place is filling up with a bunch of people testing tonight. Now, tomorrow night's going to be a test and tune, slicks and drag radials only, but it's going to be an additional, instead of the normal $60 to test and tune, it's $100 tomorrow night, because they're going to be putting a lot of glue on there, getting ready for Saturday for the weekend. And it's going to be a really sticky track, trying to get it prepped for the Saturday race. And Saturday's race looks like, between all the groups, our group will be there, Bruce City Gassers, Classic American Muscle Car Association, Pro 85, Nostalgia Super Stocks, and Wisconsin Outlaw Street. We're looking at maybe around 170 cars. So there's going to be a lot of cars going down the track all day and into the night, probably maybe till 11 o'clock or so. So we're just kind of getting geared up, ready for that. But tomorrow it's going to be $100 to test and tune because the extra glue that's going on the track. That glue is not cheap. It's, I think, a 55-gallon drum is $900 and some dollars. Maybe went up this year. So they plan on going through a couple barrels of glue this weekend. So it'll be a couple $1,000s in glue maybe. So, and then the professional track prep to have him come in and do it. So it should be a good time.
Well, and it's kind of funny. I mentioned that Jimmy Utek Jr., who actually has done some drag racing too, I think, and I know his dad did. before he started circle track racing at Wilmot. He's got, if you haven't seen it, he's got a gorgeous AMC, and he's got a bunch of other cars too. Yeah, he's on a cruise. He wins the car show on Sunday, and Monday morning he leaves for a cruise.
Yeah,
and you just got back from a trip, and I just got back from a trip. Mark, where have you been?
Well, I've just been real busy building a garage out back, and I've been traveling. I'm retired, so I've been doing all kinds of stuff, family stuff.
There you go. Well, how did you, I guess I'll ask you, how did you and John get connected, and how did you guys meet? And tell me a little bit about your racing background.
John and I have been friends for probably about 16, 17 years now, I suppose. I used to race a little 67 Chevy 2 Nova out there. And at the time, John was in the market for one. So he looked at my car and realized that it was a really nice car because, it was a really cool car. No. And he had said that he would really like one. And, we just started talking from that day on. I was parked up underneath a tree over at Great Lakes Dragway. It was probably right around, it was early 2000s, I suppose.
Yeah.
So we just hit it off, and we've got a lot of same interests. Yeah.
Interesting story. The 67 Nova that I was interested in his. I had his 1967 Nova Super Sport that I sold to Jimmy Utek Jr. in 1985 that he still has. He didn't want to sell it back to me, so I was looking for another one.
Jimmy's a hoarder.
Jimmy's a car hoarder. Yeah, he's a good friend of ours. So I worked with Jimmy at Chrysler, and I worked with his dad, also American Motors. So I've known Jimmy for years, and yeah, he's still got my 67 Nova. I did some work for him, and I saw that Scrambler. It's a really nice car. And
it is. It was just so cool. I mean, John, I know you get it. I'm sure Mark, you get it. You got to give back. And there was a young man, a special needs gentleman that came. His mother brought him just to see the cars, and he got so excited. And she asked me, she goes, "Do you think somebody might let him, drive or ride in their car?" And, well, you got regular race cars there. It's a little tough to actually ride in one of those. But Jimmy had his there, and I walked over and I said, "Would you take this young man with you, and give him a little ride?" He said, "Certainly." Well, we thought, just around the parking lot, all of a sudden, Jimmy leaves the parking lot. He drives around the block. He goes down to the lake. I mean, it's like, he
gave him a good ride. Yeah.
He gave him a good ride for almost 20 minutes.
Nice.
So that was really cool. So, and if you didn't hear the earlier announcement, I keep saying we're going to find warm weather. We moved it from last year. We moved it 2 weeks later. We gained 24 degrees, but the wind kept coming off the lake, and it was cold Sunday. Well, next year we're going to Father's Day. We're going to the middle of June.
That's better for scheduling for weather anyway.
So make sure. I know Great Lakes Dragway doesn't race on Mother's Day. Do they race on Father's Day?
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Mother's Day they are closed. That's one of the days, and 4th of July is another day that they close.
I know that for a fact because I am a father and I do race on Father's Day.
Well, hopefully you can come down to the show for a little while next year and at least stop in, and then we'll have some fun. But we just decided, hey, the folks at the harbor and the folks at Greentown on the Rocks, they were willing to give it a shot, and what better thing to do than take Dad out to a car show or take Dad out to the races for Father's Day. So, and if you notice, NASCAR does not race on Mother's Day. They do race on Father's Day. So, what about John, Mark? Have you guys had your cars out this year and to at least shake them down, or is this weekend going to be the debut?
No, it's we're both behind schedule a little bit. Me going on vacation for a week and then working on doing body work on another car that I had. I'm still haven't adjusted the valves on mine yet. And Mark, we're working on his car today, putting a mid plate in with the bell housing and stuff. So We'll get them going here. Yeah, we have a big race next week, and also down in Mid-State Dragway in Havana, Illinois. So we'll be pretty busy here.
Same with you, Mark. You're trying to get the thing up and running, ready to go.
Yeah, actually, John and I are actually working on my car. It's a 55 Chevrolet. It's a King Rat. It's called. It's a green 55 Chevy. John and I are actually working on it in my new shop as we speak. We just literally got done working on it just a couple hours ago. So,
oh, great. Well, John knows the drill, and Mark, you probably do too. But I always give an opportunity to drivers that I have on to thank people that get them to the races, marketing partners, family, the family pet, whatever you got. You now's your time, Mark.
Well, actually, I'd like to send a big thanks to my buddy Skip over at Precision Chrome. He's going to be putting up for a race that we're going to be hosting at Great Lakes Dragway for our out of sight drags in June 27th, 28th. We're going to run a gas and a double A gas shootout. So my buddy Skip, he's sponsoring that for all the racers. So it's over at Precision Chrome, and real good friend of mine, Eric Essie over at Madison Classics. I'd like to thank him for helping us do all the what advertising, and we do a real nice show up there. We bring cars up there for the Madison Classic show, the Jefferson Car Swap. We bring some cars debut up there, and Classics Plus, Mike Freund and family up there in Fond du Lac. They're great people, and Jimmy Casalius is our major sponsor. I'd like to put a shout out to him as well over there.
All righty, sounds great. Well, John, I know we've hit your sponsors before. I'll give you a shot one more time, and then we all know where to go and get information on Great Lakes Dragway at greatlakesdragway.com, right? And
yep.
And the boss always answers his own phone.
That's correct. Yeah, Randy's on there. It got answering the phone. In fact, he's been going crazy this week because everybody's asking about this weekend and everything. So, yeah, he's been a little bit hectic for him on the phone. But yeah, everything should be good. The weather looks good for Saturday. They're talking 70 degrees and no humidity, so it should be. We might have some record times with these cars, so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
And what time do things start up on Saturday?
They're going to probably start a little early. I'm going to say. Probably the track's going to go hot around 11 a.m., I'm going to guess, and it's going to be going all day with all the groups that we have and the cars that are going on. They've added a couple classes to the Outlaw Series, so Pro Street and a couple other ones, so there should be a pretty full house. And I could see a bunch of guys, heavy hitters, coming in today to test tonight, which will be here tonight. They'll probably stay tonight, go test some more tomorrow, and get ready for Saturday.
All righty, sounds great. Well, hey, we're all getting racing now, so that's the main thing. We just got to get Mother Nature to not go to like she did on Sunday. I mean, the wind chill had to be probably in the 30s down there by the lake. I can tell you that.
Yeah. and I just got back from Moines, Utah, and it was like 80 degrees and sunny and beautiful there. And then I come back Sunday, Monday, and I'm like, crap, this wind is cold. Yeah.
That's for sure. Well, John, Mark, thank you very much for coming on. Mark, you're welcome anytime.
Be a great weekend. Bring your family out. There's going to be a lot of racing. Going to be a lot of cars out there, food vendors, great family atmosphere, as we all know.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
Great place to hang.
Yeah.
Yep. Hope a lot of folks make it up there to Great Lakes Dragway. Again, Mark, John, thank you. Appreciate it. Make sure you say hi to Randy and the crew up there for me, and I'll be seeing you out there soon.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Sounds good, Mike.
All right.
Take
God
care
bless. Take care. And that was our reporters from, from Great Lakes Dragway. And Great Lakes Dragway going to be very busy this weekend. So we are now going to use technology, hopefully. And we're calling Chris Klemko. Yep, we got Chris and Kent. Unless you cut in, I'm going to presume we're doing okay. So Chris Klemko joining us on the phone line. And Chris, congratulations. It's been a while since you were in Victory Lane at Wilmot Raceway, and you picked up the opening night win in the Dick Colburn Classic, a very special night. Recognizing Dick and all his accomplishments over the years. So, but just, really a gentleman in racing. And it was very, very nice of you and Steve Sinclair and the crew at Wilmot and with the IRA to put that whole night together.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Dick did a lot of, Rod did the race, and Steve did a lot of work, and it turned out really good.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, tell us about, it almost seemed like a marathon that you were running, not just a 20-lap feature in the Autometer Wisconsin wingless sprints. Tell us a little bit about it from the driver's perspective, what it was like for you.
It was getting frustrating toward all the cautions. The first one wasn't so bad because I was tired, and I was like, I got a break here for a second. But and I really didn't know how close anybody was behind me. But you never want to see a caution, but at the same time, I was like, whew, I got a little bit of a breather. I had a pretty busy day, and then running 3 divisions that night as well. I don't know what I was thinking when I told a month ago, hey, let's try this. But they made it happen and had 3 cars ready for me, so it was a lot of fun. But towards the end of that, I was ready for it to be over, because you never know. You can only hit your mark so many times perfect, and one of the times you're going to slip up, and I was just hoping I didn't slip up, so it all turned out pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. And ironically, the guy that beat you down at Joliet back in October is the guy that was running second to you at Wilmot Saturday night.
That was down in Joliet. We led most of that race. Coming into 4 on the last lap, there was a caution, and then, it was a green-white checkered, and, he got me on that one, too. I believe that's how that one went.
Yep. No,
it is what it is.
Yeah,
but it was nice to get the win this year. So.
Yeah, and that's I'm hoping I'm remembering his name. I believe that's Adam Taylor. Does that sound right? I'm pretty sure that's who ended up finishing second to you this time. Yep. So now I know we mentioned this was the 50th anniversary, I think, of one of Dick's championships, and that's kind of why everything was put together for this year, and that. But it's also a special anniversary for you and for your dad's involvement in racing. Your dad, Mike Klemko, a champion at Wilmot and ran a lot of different racetracks. Tell the folks a little bit about that.
Yeah, he raced quite a few years out at Wilmot and raced Hales Corners. He raced up at La Crosse, Oshkosh, Manitowoc, Lake Geneva. He went to Canada and raced a handful of times. He raced on Waukegan. I'm sure there's a bunch of other tracks. I know he went out to Iowa a few times and raced out there. If I look through the scrapbook, I'm sure I could find a couple more. But yeah, he kind of raced all over. He had a few championships at Wilmot. He had a lot of wins at Wilmot. He's had a pretty good name there for a while. So yeah, I just got to try to live up to that.
Yeah, and ironically, and I know you mentioned it when you won your first championship, the first trophy that I presented to somebody when I started working at Wilmot back in 1980 was to your dad. And I've still got that picture up in our family room here that you gave me at the banquet that year, a copy of the picture that was in the newspaper. But that was really cool, and just kind of shows that it is a family type thing. We were just talking about the UTECs before you came on. Cripes, there's like 6 UTECs that have all raced at Wilmot over the years, but now Trinity's the first female, but that's what it is. I mean, Wilmot has always been a family racetrack. It's celebrating its 75th anniversary season this year. I know you and Jenny have got some special things planned. I know also Steve and I are working with you with Founders Night coming up in May for the IRA. We got some special things planned that night. Some people sort of coming out of retirement. They're not going to race, but they're going to, probably take a few hot laps, we'll call it.
Well, I don't know. I think they're gearing up to race. I know one of them just sent the motor out to get freshened. That is got a strict timeline that it has to be back for Founders Night because he called me 2 days ago. When is the night exactly? And how fast are we going to be able to go? And I said, well, fast enough, but I said, don't get hurt out there now. And, these guys are building cars like outlaw racing, so I think it's really good time. It's going to be a fun night. And I think the fans are going to be in for a real treat. So.
Yeah, I mean, John Tierney, I know, is putting a car together. Joe Christian is putting it together. Well, actually, it's more Brian that's putting it together. Joe's going to get it and drive it. And then Jim Mullis is also looking forward to it. I tried to talk Dave into finding a car, but he he says no. He says I'll just watch. And so what other things? I know a lot of it is still in the works, but what other special events and special things are going to be happening at Wilmot Raceway this coming summer?
Well, we've got a lot of dirt late model hell tours coming in June. That's on a Monday. And then we have the World of Outlaw dirt late models coming in July, the end of July. That's also on a Monday. We haven't had the hell tour since I think 2016, and we've never had the World of Outlaw late models at Wilmot. So that's a real big thing. The end of this month, we have a non-wing border battle with the steel block non-wing cars from Indiana. They're coming up. We have a rodeo in June as well. June's a really busy month for us. We have a rodeo in June, a full rodeo. That'll be on a Sunday afternoon. And all this stuff you can find on, WilmotRaceway.com, Facebook, Kenosha County Fair. We have all that stuff advertised on there. August, we have the fair. We have the NTPA, which is the National Truck Pullers Association. It's like the World of Outlaws, a truck tractor pulling. Mm-hmm. They're coming on Friday night of the fair. They've never been to our fair, and they only come to Wisconsin once, and they usually go to Toma. So for them to stop down here is pretty big. That was actually almost 2.5 years in the making just to get the schedule worked out for us to get on their schedule. They plan that far out in advance. So, we've been working with them a lot on that. So that'll be really big for truck tractor pulling side of things. So,
and I know,
Fall Classic at the end of the season, to end the 75th off with the Fall Classic 2-day show. That'll be a lot of fun. We got a big fireworks show on Saturday night of the Fall Classic. We got fireworks on Wednesday night of the fair, I believe, this year. And then we have fireworks Tuesday, I think it's July 2nd. It's our carload special night. And we got a big fireworks show that night as well. So.
And, talking about the IRA, the bumper-to-bumper IRA sprint cars are coming to their original home of Wilmot, and they'll be back again Memorial Day weekend for Founders Night. Then they'll be back again for the fair on Saturday night. And then they're coming, this is, a first for them. They're coming in September to the Classic on Friday night.
Yep. Yeah, they'll be at the Fall Classic on Friday night. That was a good one to get worked out, and that'll be a good thing for the southeastern part of the city because usually that time of year, the IRA's a little further north racing. So to end the year, end the 75th off with an IRA show, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, it's 75 years for Wilmot. It's we were doing some math. Steve had me do some math. It's 59 for the IRA in as a whole. It's also the 35th season for the Lightning Sprints, and it's also the 11th season for the Wingless. And the thing about the IRA is all of those divisions I just mentioned, the 410s, the Wingless, and the Lightning, their original home track was Wilmot. They all started at Wilmot, and they all still race at Wilmot. So, there's definitely a home for the IRA at Wilmot.
Yep.
So, I always like to give the sponsors or give the drivers a chance to give credit to their sponsors and anybody else they want to thank, family, crew members. Chris, it's your time. Thank those folks.
Well, I got to thank my crew more than anything. I mean, Joe, John, Kevin, they're terrific. And with everything I got going on between my business and running the racetrack and doing the track prep, we got a couple of guys that are out there, Chad and helping us and Josh helping us on the track prep side of things as well. But I'm pretty busy, and Joe and John, they take care of all the cars, and they make sure they're race ready and at the track for me on Saturday, to where I just basically show up and jump in. And the sponsors that we got on it: Zerble Concrete, Billingsley Engineering, M3 Custom Creations, M3 Insurance Group out of Madison, Jack's Helmet Designs, Callahan Motorsports, Super Shocks. All those guys, can't do without them, and they help make it a lot easier for Joe for when he needs to get parts and all that. And yeah, it works out pretty well. So especially Joe, and I couldn't do it without him. And if I didn't have him, I honestly I wouldn't be racing right now. So I can't thank him enough. And my two little boys that are in the shop with us all the time, and every weekend, they're excited to get to be washing cars and all that now on Sunday. So I think they're more excited about hose fights and squirting us with the hose than washing. But it's a lot of fun. This is a big family event, and it's a lot of fun. So.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, schedule for this week. I know you got three divisions are going to make their debut for 2025 this Saturday night. Plus the 604s are coming back for their second night. Greg Olson, of course, getting the win last week in the 604s, his first ever win in a wing sprint car. So congratulations certainly go out to him. And then you got the win in the wingless. Jake Blackhurst got the win in the 410s, and that, I think, was the first win for the Team 96 at Wilmot. I'm not sure about – I know Jake's won at Wilmot before, and then we're going to have a young man on the next segment, Tucker Richards, who's 15 years old, and I think it was about his 6th or 7th time driving a lightning sprint. And I don't know how much you got to watch him, Chris, because I know you were getting ready to race and stuff. But he put on a show.
That's good. That's good. It's good to see the young guns coming up, and it's good to see that the younger generation getting into it, and it's going to keep going for years.
Yep. Now Saturday night you got the 604s, wing cars, you got the street stocks, the modifieds, and the bandits. Starting time Saturday for folks out there that might not be familiar.
Oh, maybe 6:30 on the track, and opening ceremonies right around that time. So hot laps for the wing 604s will probably be about 5:45. So we should expect racing 6:30, 6:45.
Okay, and as always, for the latest information, you can go to wilmotraceway.com and keep an eye on the Facebook page and all of that as well, and the My Race Pass as well. That's where you can keep track of how things are going throughout the evening. Well, Chris, again, a tip of the hat to you and your crew. Did an excellent job having that track in great shape on Saturday night. It was a racy track all night long for all 4 classes. And I heard a lot of good things, the improvements the Kenosha County Fair Association, yourself personally, and Jenny do. It's come a long way since 1980 when I first worked at Wilmot. So continued success to you. I'll be looking forward to being there with you, just about every race night as much as I can. So
sounds good.
Looking forward to it. Chris, thanks again. Congratulations, and we'll see you soon.
All right, thank you, Mike. Have a good evening.
You too. Take care. God bless. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.
And that was Chris Klemko joining us. Chris does a lot at Wilmot Raceway and picked up the win finally last Saturday night after almost a little over a year hiatus. He won the championship last year without a feature win at Wilmot. All right. Now, we just talked about him, and we're going to bring him in. At least I hope we're going to bring him in. There he is, Tucker Richards. Tucker Richards scoring his first career lightning sprint win last Saturday at Wilmot Raceway. Congratulations. You did a great job in the 1175 sports bar and sports complex IRA Lightning Sprints feature. I'll tell you, you impressed a lot of folks. I was standing next to Dick Colburn, a veteran, a legend, a classic. He was totally impressed at how you were driving that race car on Saturday night. So congratulations to you.
Yeah, thanks for the congratulations. That car felt amazing. Could put it almost anywhere on the track, and it just felt good everywhere I put it.
Now, how many times, I was trying to look back in your history a little bit, how many times have you driven a lightning sprint?
We ran the full year last year, except for opening night when we blew a water pump before the show. So we ran the full year except for opening night, and that one was down at Sycamore. So, yeah, otherwise we've ran the full year last year.
Now, as you've been moving along, what do you think the biggest thing is done to help you score a win? What's the difference? Is there difference in your driving style this year, or it was just the way the car was set up and the power that you had in the car?
I think I gained more confidence over the off season with driving it into the corner. But another big help was we upgraded our engine program this off season too. And yeah, I mean, I kind of came in with a no fear mentality going in there. And that's kind of just helped me a lot with driving it into the corner harder and making smarter passes and stuff.
Now, in the old days, and even in the new days, not too many drivers want to have a 13 on their wing or on their car, period. Why number 13?
So it's my mom's birthday, and my dad also drove the number 13. So that was the inspiration behind it.
Okay, well, scoring a win, it don't hurt.
Yeah, seems like it worked.
It worked. It worked. And now this Saturday, you just mentioned last year, the one race you missed was Sycamore. Now,
Yeah.
Sycamore is going to be this Saturday. I presume you're bringing the number 13 down there and going to run with the 1175 IRA Lightning Sprints on Saturday down at Sycamore, along with the Badger Midgets and the 410 Sprint cars as well. What about that racetrack? Do you have many laps on that track, and how does that track compare to Wilmot?
We ran there 2 more times that year, but the first time, well, we had issues after qualifying, so we didn't get to run the rest of the night. The actual second time that I got to be there, we did get the full show in. It is probably my favorite track that isn't Wilmot, because Wilmot was a place that I grew up at, and it's actually still not even trying to be biased. It's one of my favorite tracks to run at, but otherwise, then Sycamore would be my second favorite.
Now, are you going to have to Wilmot's, depending upon who you talk to and where the measurements taken from, some say it's a third, some say it's 3/8. I think the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars, when they come in, they call it a 3/8. What about Sycamore? What size? It's been a number of years. I'm looking forward to Saturday night down at Sycamore because I haven't been there for quite a long while. So what size track are we looking at down at Sycamore?
I believe they call it a third. I am not completely positive on it, but I believe they call it a third.
So now if Wilmot's a third and Sycamore's a third, they definitely don't have the same configuration from what I've seen.
Sycamore, the straightaways are pretty close to the same, except for the fact that it's tighter for sure. It's more of a bull ring than Wilmot.
And what about the walls? I mean, Wilmot, you got the forgiveness that at both ends, there's no wall. There's just walls on the straightaway. What about at Sycamore?
I never really put her up against the wall last year. Kind of was just hustling the bottom, but I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we get up to the fence this year. Maybe we'll stay on the bottom. Just don't know. I guess it depends on how the track is.
Now you mentioned Dad, raced. How much does he help you with the race car, or does he just pretty much leave it up to you to get it ready to go and also to drive it?
He does a lot on basically a lot everything. I mean, I give help in a lot of spots too, but yeah, he does a lot on it.
And I always try to give drivers an opportunity to thank their marketing partners, their family, their friends, their crew members. Who do you need to thank that got you to victory lane last Saturday at Wilmot on Dick Coleman Classic night, and is going to get you down to Sycamore?
First, I'd like to thank my family. Always been supportive of me with my racing career so far. I'd also like to thank BJ Irwin. He helped a little bit on the setup before the feature, telling us a little bit of adjustments we should make. But then I can get into sponsors. Underground Solutions, they've been with me for a while. Mellon Septic Service, Rossi Welding and Fabrication, Kuna's Ford of Antioch, Peter Lehman Incorporated, Croco Funeral Home, Don's Garage, Wake to Wood Flooring, Illinois Contract Glazing, ATW Services, and Midwest CBD.
Now, where you did pretty good. I'll tell you, some of the veteran drivers should take a lesson from you, because you definitely got to remember all the marketing partners. They're all important.
Yeah, I was kind of at a loss of words after the feature. I kind of forgot a couple of them, but we were prepared for today, so
well, not you know what that means. You just got to win again.
Yeah.
So it's real simple. Win Saturday at Sycamore, and you'll get to do it again.
I've also heard that I should pull in to the victory lane at Sycamore backwards if I win, so all my other sponsors get a spot in victory lane photos too.
There you go.
If we get the win, we'll be going into victory lane backwards, I guess.
Well, thanks for the warning, because I might be doing the interview. We're still working all that out. Maddie's not going to be able to be there on Saturday, so you might be stuck with me. So, so don't run me over.
Okay.
How did you get started in racing? I mean, you're only 15, right?
I'm 14, actually.
14. You're even younger than I was told. Well, I apologize, because I think I made you 15 in the press release, but
yeah. But I got my first ever race was in a go-kart in 2016. We only ran like 2 races that year, but then we started running full time after that. I ran go-karts until 2022. I have 3 championships at Leetzau Raceway Park. And then we started doing a little bit of traveling after that, and we won a championship down in St. Louis at the Clash at the Coliseum. And then I ran micros in 2023. We didn't get a lot of experience in that because bent the front axle on like the sixth night out or something, 5th maybe, and the parts just would not come in. It just took forever to get a new axle. And then last year was my first year in the Lightning Sprint, and we're running again this year.
Now, Colin Sivia also drove karts and all over, and now he's in a Lightning Sprint. He's 13. Had you guys raced against each other in karts before you started racing against each other this year in a Lightning?
Yeah, we raced a couple times against each other in go-karts. But yeah, I talked to him a lot, actually. He's one of my friends, so yeah, I talked to him a lot, and Jacob Irwin too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jacob's 15. I guess maybe that's where I got my 15 from.
Yeah, he's 15.
Yeah, well, we got a number of young guns in the Lightning Sprints, that's for sure. And where do you go to school at? We're almost running out of time, but I want you to get your school plug in there.
I go to Paris school. I'm in 8th grade, about to graduate, and I'll be at Westosa Central next year.
All righty. Well, again, congratulations on the win. I'll look forward to seeing you on Saturday down there at Sycamore, and who knows, maybe we'll be chatting again in Victory Lane at Sycamore.
Yeah, and thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you, Tucker, and happy Mother's Day to your mom, and say hi to Dad for me.
All right, will do.
Take care. God bless. Again, that was Tucker Richards scoring his first ever win Saturday night at Wilmot. That's going to wrap it up for this week's show. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, to my wife, Kathy, my mother upstairs in heaven. Until we see you next time, this is Mike Babicz wishing you a pleasant evening, the best of tomorrows. Remember, kids, just say no to drugs. Thanks. Good night. God bless. And let's go racing, everybody.